All right, everybody, welcome to our broadcast today. So we're talking about Tumblr, and I know if you're watching this recorded, you didn't see this happen, but just a second ago, we polled all of you guys who are here live to see how many of you guys actually knew about Tumblr. And the vast majority of you had not. In fact, 60% of you polled saying you'd never heard of it. The other 40% of you said you'd heard of it but don't use it, and 0% of you tell me you actually use it on a regular basis. And I suppose that's at least in part because Tumblr represents a much younger demographic than most social media on the internet. They say that roughly half of the users on Tumblr are 25 years old or younger. So it's not I mean, it's something you'd see a lot of high schoolers use, maybe college students, but beyond that, not as much. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not other people using it, and it's not a good medium for doing some marketing. Of course, it is. But if you have a niche or a business that caters more to a younger crowd, this especially is going to be a good social network to be part of, and that's just what it is. This is definitely a social network. It's similar. In fact, if I had to compare it to anything, I would say it's Facebook meets Pinterest meets WordPress. It's a combined set of social networks that sort of, I guess take some of the items from each one and mesh it into one, which is now Tumblr. Okay. Let me so it's easy to sign up for. So this is the homepage, tumblr.com. You'd come up here, you'd hit sign up, and take you through a really simple sign up process. You'd hit get started, and then you can either sign up through a Yahoo account or a normal email account if you'd like. And I won't take you through the sign up because really that's pretty self-explanatory. Once you sign up, it'll have you confirm your email address, and then you'll be in. Let me log in on kind of a dummy account that I created for you guys to kind of watch me use it on. And I will do that very quickly right now. Okay. I'm logged in. It'll have you choose a username, and you'll see a lot of interesting usernames when you get in here. Essentially, it's this. Okay, you have Tumblr is like having your own blog, but it's more of a social media type blog, and I'll explain more about what I mean by that here in a second. But in essence, a Tumblr account is a blog account. It's just a unique type. Okay? So for example, and I got to be careful what I click on here because Tumblr has some sort of dodgy stuff on it on occasion. Risque pictures and probably otherwise not some of the best content. I'm not saying that that's what it's built on. That's certainly not the case. But you have to be careful when you're hopping around onto random blogs. So you'll see right here when you first log in, there's some recommended blogs that I could click on and look at. I'm not going to do that because I'm not sure exactly what's going to pull up here. So I'm just going to go searching, okay? Search for something you're interested in first. And so what I'm going to recommend tonight, since most of you guys are just learning about what this is for the first time, I'm going to recommend the same thing I do for most social media. It is impossible for you to market a business on a social media platform that you currently don't understand on a personal level. Meaning you really need to use this just at least a little bit on a personal level before you can understand the type of people that are here, what might work here from a marketing standpoint, and then, of course, how you're going to market your own business. So look up things that are interesting to you. A lot of the major brands have a Tumblr account. So let's look up Coke for a minute. Coca-Cola is a company. I'm pretty sure, I remember seeing they have a Tumblr account. I believe this is it right here. Let me click on it. What happens is when you click on one of these, it sort of grays out or or in this case, blues out the left-hand side of your screen, and you see this blog-esque looking thing on the right-hand side of your screen. Now, if you want to make this full screen, I could come up here and click on Coca-Cola, this link, and let me change the color of my pen here real quick. This right here, that's a link right there I can click on. That'll take me to the full Tumblr blog, and I'll just go ahead and do that. So let's click on that, and it should open up Coke's Tumblr account. Now, just as you look at this, I mean, obviously Coke is one thing, right? This is a multi-billion-dollar company, a multi-billion-dollar brand. It's hard to compare to a small business, but what do you notice about the content here on this Tumblr page? That most of the content is video or GIF, right? You know what I mean when I say a GIF? GIFs are like these short, repetitive videos, right? So I can click on this one, and you've got this GIF that loops this video. Have you guys seen some of these online before? Surely you have. It's just a short ad, right? And I know this is really small, but it's got a caption below here. The taste makes it all worth it, even this. Hashtag taste the feeling. Okay? So it's just these are short Coke ads, right? A lot of brands have kind of a general Tumblr account. Is this useful for much? I don't know, not really. I mean, you look at what Coke is doing, and it's not like they have a ton of content here. They posted a little bit in 2015 and 2016, but they don't use their Tumblr a whole lot. Okay, fair enough. Let's look for another brand. And by the way, you'll notice there's other Tumblr accounts for Coke. There's Coke Music, but then you've got some of these other ones, Coke of a different variety, right? Just a blog about drugs. So somebody's created a drug blog here. This one's called My Coke Dealer Boyfriend, right? That might be an interesting blog. So, and then below this, so these are the actual blogs right here at the top. Those are actual blogs that people have created. These below are posts from around the internet dealing with Coke. Okay? And you'll notice here, you've got just regular pictures. You've got text, right? More pictures. So when somebody creates a Tumblr blog, it's really just, it's like any normal blog that you've ever seen. It's the only difference is it's hosted on this Tumblr site, and there's a social aspect to it. Let me see if I can find a better, more used blog. Let's find, let's say you're interested in, I don't know, gardening. So I can do a search up here at the top and see if I can find blogs related to gardening. This might be a little more G-rated, right? Let's look at this one right here. This one's called My Urban Farm. This is a little more up my alley. I love gardening stuff, which is why I'm so stoked. We're midway through February here. I can't wait for the weather to warm up. All right, so this will be a better example for you guys to kind of see what a Tumblr blog is like. So you can customize your page, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second, but they call this My Urban Farm, and I can scroll down here, and I can see the things they have submitted. Right? I could, let me just click on one. So they've got a quote here. Here's a picture. And it's got a picture of, you know, their harvest. The caption says, "A humble summer harvest." And I know this is hard for you guys to see, but I'm going to circle it anyway right here. On this post, there are 22 notes. Okay. And then you've got hashtags that go along with this. Well, first of all, before I move off of notes are basically comments. Okay. So they've had 22 people make a comment of some sort on this particular post, which I'll share with you in a second. And then these, I know they're really light and hard to see. They're kind of hard to see on my screen too. But these are hashtags dealing with each individual post. So they've got hashtag gardening, hashtag urban farming, so on and so forth, homesteading, whatever. Guys, so those of you guys, do any of you guys use hashtags in some of your social marketing that you do? And if you do, can you tell us real quick, what's a hashtag for? What does it do? If they put hashtag grow your own food on this, what does that actually do? Why are hashtags being used in this case? Surely some of you guys use hashtags, right? Oh, okay. So it's used to make the post findable, right? Good comment. It makes it to where if someone goes into Tumblr and does a search for gardening, there's a possibility that this shows up because they've got it hashtagged gardening. So it's a way to get this content visible, right? Without anybody knowing of your Tumblr account, when you create one for the first time for the business, and you start posting pictures and videos and content on Tumblr as if you would any other blog, if you hashtag it correctly, you will get people to find your stuff. For sure. And the most powerful part of this whole thing is if somebody finds your picture or your video or whatever it is you posted on Tumblr, there's this thing, and this is the critical element of Tumblr that I think as it relates to marketing, that'll be important to you guys. There's a way for you to quote unquote reblog, okay, like this, reblog, okay. And all that means is I can take something that somebody else has posted and I can share it on my own blog. That's called reblogging something. Let me erase all my chicken scratch here. Scroll down. Here are a bunch of notes that people have left on this particular item. People have liked it. Some people have shared it. Let me scroll back to this person's homepage. Notice these little icons here. You see you've got the little heart icon right here. You've got this little circle icon right here. Well, the circle one, that's the reblog one. So if I click on that, I can basically post whatever that person has here onto my own blog. What does that sound like? From a social marketing standpoint, what other website does that sound like? It sounds like Pinterest, doesn't it? I don't know how many of you guys use Pinterest on any level. We certainly haven't done a lot of training on it in our webinar series here. I intend to. We just haven't gotten around it. But Pinterest is like that. So it's like if you post a recipe or a picture or whatever on Pinterest, someone can take your post and post it to their own Pinterest board. It's the same thing on Tumblr. So I'll do an example of that. Again, let me delete my blue writing here. And let's say, let's click on this one right here and see what this one is. Okay, so this person says, starting to see some good growth out of our late season tomatoes at the farm. There's even a few fruit coming through. Okay, so let's say I love this, right? I just think this is great. I want to share it with people on my own blog. Well, I would come and I would click this button right here. Again, let me circle it with my pen. Or square it in this case. Okay, that's the spot, and I'm going to click on it. And that allows me to reblog it onto my own onto my own blog here. So there we go. So it comes up like this, and I can add another caption that I like. I can say, wow, these tomato plants look great. I love this. I hope mine turn out really well too. Okay? And I can put my own hashtags. Hashtag tomato. Hashtag gardening. Hashtag I love spring. Okay, whatever. And I'm going to hit reblog. And that has now reblogged it onto my own blog. And it actually notes it here on this person's notes section. It shows that I reblogged it. Okay. What does that look like on my own blog? Well, when you create a Tumblr account, you have a blog. Obviously you need to customize the look of it and stuff, but you have a blog. Let me just show you. I think, yeah, I did reblog that. Okay. Let me close that real quick. And let me go back to Tumblr, to their homepage here. And then if I click up here in the icons at the top right, this section right here, hopefully you can see that. I can click on the little person icon, click on my Tumblr blog right here, and this will load up my blog, okay? Now right now I only have one thing. I just have this item that I reblogged, okay? But let's say I wanted to share some text. Okay, you can do some direct advertising here if you want. I could say, hey, just launched my website. Come check out our gardening website. And then I could put on hashtag gardening, hashtag garden, hashtag spring, hashtag plants, right? Whatever, post. We'll have another discussion on hashtags another time. But this creates a link to the website. Now that's assuming I own gardening.com, which I don't, but I'm using that as an example, right? The cool thing is, without doing any advertising at all, and this is what I think is kind of neat about Tumblr, people really do use this search section all the time, here up here at the top. Okay? People use that, right? People will look for stuff about gardening or plants or whatever. And since I hashtagged this post right here, there's a possibility that through the right hashtags, people are going to come find this post and this blog on Tumblr. Now, here's what you got to remember. This is not an effective way to advertise on Tumblr. You just don't put your link up there and expect that people are going to click on it. Somebody uses Tumblr for the same reason why somebody might use Pinterest or Facebook or any other social network. And it's not really because they're looking to buy a product, right? Think about the way you use social networking and social marketing. Or I shouldn't say social marketing, just social media in general, right? Your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter. Maybe some of you guys don't use it all that much, but for those of you that do, you don't go there because you're looking to buy something, right? You go there because you're looking to kill a little bit of time, right? You just want to see what's going on in the news, or you want to see what your friends are doing, your family's doing, right? You want to just consume some interesting content that people are sharing out there online. That's mostly why people are using a site like Tumblr. So you don't just create a little gardening blog like this and market it directly. That's not effective. You do what Coke does. You do it so that some of these other brands do. And what I'm going to encourage you to do tonight, after we get done here in just a minute, is go create your own personal account. Don't do it as a business. Just create a personal account. Get on there and find Tumblr blogs that you like. Follow them, subscribe to them, reblog them, share them, and start using the system. You may find that you love it. And there's a lot of people that have sort of flocked over to Tumblr over the years. They use this maybe more than they use Facebook. But with all the different types of social media, I suppose we all have our preferences, don't we? Some people prefer Pinterest. Some people spend their time on Instagram. Some maybe more on Twitter. Twitter's a little more for networking than anything else. Some on Facebook, right? Some on Reddit. We've talked about Reddit before. Tumblr's just another one of those. And it caters to a younger audience for the most part. So even if I'm in the business to sell gardening products, and I know the general audience on Tumblr, the demographic is younger, that still doesn't mean I shouldn't have something here, because Tumblr content gets found in Google too. So if you're doing searches in Google for something, you can come across Tumblr content. Tumblr content does have some SEO value, meaning if you get some links going back to your site, that can be helpful. And it's got some direct marketing value, because if you have links going back from your Tumblr blog to your site, you can send yourself direct traffic. So it's a useful medium for marketing. We just need to get you guys to use it on a personal level before you can ever really understand it. So I don't have all the time in the world tonight to go into all the different marketing strategies that you can use as a business. I think all of that's pretty irrelevant until you get on here yourself, create a personal account, and use it for a while. So I'm going to encourage all of you guys to do that this week. Even if you're not at a spot where you've got a business to market, maybe you're still trying to figure out what your niche is going to be. Maybe you already know. Bottom line is, don't create your business account yet. Create your personal account. Create a personal blog. Okay? And for me, if I were doing this on a personal level, the first thing that I would do is I would go hunt down things I'm interested in. I would hunt down gardening stuff. I would hunt down maybe some sporting stuff. I would hunt down stuff regarding beekeeping, maybe, because that's a hobby of mine. Maybe I'd hunt down stuff as it relates to landscaping. Whatever it is that you're interested in, hunt it down, find some blogs, follow them, and interact, and see how you like it. You may end up liking spending time here more than some of your other social media, or maybe you hate it. I don't actually care whether you like it or hate it. I just want you to use it so you see how it works, so that we can talk more about marketing it in future trainings. Okay? Okay. So I'll give you a minute to ask a couple of questions, and then let's finish up. If any of you guys have questions, go ahead and ask. I think I missed a few questions here. Shelly, I do have some Tumblr blogs, yes. Not necessarily for those companies, though. Yeah, Jeff, you could look at hashtags like keywords, sure. They just help categorize your content, right? I could add a video to my Tumblr. In fact, it's real easy. These sections right here, you just click on what you want to add: a photo, a quote, a link. You can do this chat feature, which we'll talk about at some point, video, audio, and you can add this content and create your own unique little piece of the internet. It's free. You could even post affiliate links here yourself, right? This is your blog. Anything goes, except you've got to keep it, PG-13. I know there's some garbage content on Tumblr, some unsavory content, but that should be like filed away. You shouldn't really be able to find that very well. So, most of it's pretty user friendly. It's okay to use. I guess it's just like any other website out there. There's garbage on Facebook too, and Twitter and everywhere else, but you just got to be careful with it. Yeah, I haven't gotten enough honey from my bees yet, Elaine. We started our hives last May. So all year long, I'm sure some of you guys could care less about this, but I'm just going to answer your question, Elaine. All year long, they built up honey stores. So each hive has, 50, 60, 70 pounds of honey in it, but that's just for the bees, just to get through the harsh Utah winter. In the spring here, they should do real well because they'll have already built up a pretty good colony, and we should hopefully, with a little luck, do a little bit better this year for sure. You can personalize your account. Good question. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about that, Shelly, but let me just show you. You can come up right up here, click on your little personal icon, and you can go edit appearance. And you can actually edit the look of your account. Your icon here, you could put a picture of yourself. You can edit the background, kind of like Facebook. You can edit the name, right? So I could come in here and edit any of this. I could call this Trevor's Tumblr blog of interests, right? You have a byline here. Anything from gardening to beekeeping to sports, etc., right? And then I can change colors and everything else. So you can definitely customize the way this looks for sure. Which is why, like, you looked at Cokes. Cokes was really well branded. So I guess the idea is once you figure out kind of how to use this on a personal level, set up your business one, brand it as a business, and start sharing stuff as a business. Now, again, you might ask yourself, well, how is this going to help me make money online? And isn't that at the foundation of everything here? How does this make me $1? How does this make me $100? How does this make me $1,000? Well, if you've got your own branded Tumblr account and you're posting content there and you're marketing it well on Tumblr, that content can help you in search engines. It can help you with links. It can help you get direct traffic, and it can help with just general brand awareness. So there is some marketing value here. But again, in order to understand that, please use this on a personal level, and we can talk more in detail about it in subsequent trainings, and we will. All right? Okay. Well, I think I'm going to finish up with that, guys. Thank you for coming along. Let's talk some more Tumblr. Good luck working on this over the next week, and we'll certainly follow up next time. Thanks again, guys. Have a good rest of your week.